Hey everybody, welcome to Z1 Concept, North America's page, and welcome to the Facebook Live that we're going to have for you today here in our corporate office at Z1 Concept. My name is Gerard Caruso. I'm the Creative Director for Z1 Concept USA, and today's Facebook Live is going to be all about 9-minute color. With the slogan, time is money and money is time, we have to look at our business a little bit differently today. And I think that once again, Z1 Concept has hit the nail on the head by launching at a perfect time a 9-minute color, allowing us as stylists to process permanent hair color in 9 minutes. So we're going to take you through the ins and outs, and we're actually going to do a live model for you today. So first and most important, I need to put my mask on because we are working on a live model and we are going to practice our social distancing and of course follow within the guidelines of the COVID-19. However, I'm going to try to speak a little bit louder. I know that once before when we did this there were little complications with possibly hearing. Please send us a little note if you cannot hear or if the sound sense is muffled, and I will be more than happy to pull off to the side and either repeat what I'm saying. Mr. Brian Reeves, our Director of Education, is actually behind the camera, so he'll be reading a lot of the questions that you all may have. So, let me just get my little mask on. How are we doing? Are we good there? Thumbs up. Everybody can hear. So, let's just walk over. This is our lovely model, Nancy. And what we're going to be doing is Nancy does have a regrowth area in there, and we can get that in the camera, Brian. How's that looking? So you do see that she's got almost about 1 inch of regrowth. She is a milkshake user, so she does utilize our creative permanent color. And with that, I'm going to turn her over and switch her to 9-minute color. We're going to process her color. So we're actually going to apply it, time it, shampoo it off, all in this Facebook Live for you. And we're also going to refresh Nancy's mid-shaft to ends. And we're going to talk about how we can do that. So, quickly, what is 9-minute color? 9-minute color is a permanent creative color with 36 nuances that are allowing you to create permanent color touch-ups on all your guests that walk into the salon today. With 36 intermixable shades and 24 mixing ratios that we could provide for you, we can give you a total of 60 nuances in a 9-minute permanent color. Now, a lot of people will ask, well, how does color process in 9 minutes? We're dealing with the same molar balancing that we are dealing in our creative permanent color, some of the same technology, but we're also dealing with biofermented daisy extract. So some of your common denominators that you do see is the sunflower oil, the blueberry, the Integrity 41, the milk proteins, all of those important ingredients that make milkshake's permanent color, creative permanent color, and milkshake's product as successful and as famous as they are. And now in our 9-minute color, we're using lower oxidizers, okay, not oxidizing agents, oxidizers, and we are using fermented daisy extract. It's a fermentation that allows us to, once again, protect the scalp, save the integrity of the hair, but most importantly, with the lower oxidizers, we are able to process color in 9 minutes. So, again, 36 intermixable shades. You have your natural series, you have your ash series, you're gonna have your gold and your copper series, your mahoganies, your reds. Okay, right over here, we talk about some of the mochas. Over here, you're talking about the chocolates. Right down here, coffee. And check it out. We are starting off with our first high lift blondes. It's our 12.11, allowing you to not only achieve deposit color in 9 minutes, are talking about how we can create our higher lifters series, which would be our bronze series. The processing time will slightly change to 20 minutes. So let's talk about 9-minute color for a minute. When we're talking about 9-minute color, we have two options. We can use our regular series to deposit color in 9 minutes, giving us a beautiful, beautiful gradient in color, tonality, condition, and shine. If we're talking about utilizing our 9-minute color for our high lift series, our high lifters, which would be our 12.11, for your high lift blondes, we're now talking about processing it in 20 minutes. So whether we're processing in 9 minutes or 20 minutes, we are cutting our timing down by a drastic amount of time. Now, on the average today, it takes 10 minutes to apply the color for most stylists, and on permanent creative color, it takes 35 to 45 minutes to process. However, with 9-minute color, you take 10 minutes to apply it, 9 minutes to process it. If we're blow drying and cutting on the average frame time, you're talking 35 minutes. We can now get our guests in and out in less than 65 minutes of time, when before it would take us anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours time. So, with Nancy, what are we getting at a 9-minute color? We are looking for complete gray coverage. We're looking for tonal deposit. So whether we're working with fashionable shades, whether we're working with natural shades or a high lip blonde, 9-minute color can guarantee you maximum gray coverage, maximum deposit of tone, condition and shine in hair, and most importantly, allow you to recoup tonal fades from mid-shaft to ends. And we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the different options that we have as stylists when it comes to creating depositive tone mid-shaft to ends. So I'm just going to T-section Nancy out, right? I want to make sure that I get this, that my section is fairly clean. Alrighty. At any time, if there are any questions, if there's concerns of not being able to hear me, just please send a message over to Brian, and I'll pull off to the side.
There was one comment about the with the mask, but that's why I've come a little closer to you, Gerard, so I think you should be good now. I think what you find sometimes is the cloth masks tend to pull your voice back slightly, but we're good.
Okay.
All right.
Can they not hear? Or?
No, they can hear you. We're okay. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, with Nancy, we're looking to achieve gray coverage on the regrowth area. So we can get that camera in right here. Can we see that gray coverage that she has there? Sure. You're going to notice that we are going to get 100% guaranteed gray coverage. And then we're going to look, if we look at the back, Ryan, let's just get a little bit on the side. We're going to talk about how to recoup some of the tonal value on the mid-shaft to ends. So I've chosen a formulation for Nancy to keep her within the natural series, but to have a slightly little bit of warmth in there. So we're actually going in with our 5NN, which would be considered in the 9-minute color, our light brown, with our 6.3, which would be considered our dark golden blonde. And the reason why I've chosen those two shades is that I know that Nancy is between a level 4 and a level 5. With 9-minute color, because we are depositing the maximum tonal deposit to the hair. It has lower oxidizer. The color will deposit a little bit slightly on the opaque side. I don't want her to pull up dark. I want her to be even from scalp to end and make sure that the color has a lot of reflectiveness to it in order to reflect shine and tonality in her color. So let's come right over to the scale, Brian.
This will be exciting, Gerard, because nobody's really seen the real product.
First launch of the 9-minute color, so as you can see, beautiful blue tube, same as our creative permanent color and our smoothies, a 3.4 fluid ounce tube, 100 ml tube, allowing you to get anywhere from 2 to 3 applications per tube. Let's turn our scale on. Let's get the 4.5 first. Let me just get this. Put that back there. Alrighty. 5.0, or better known as our NN, our more natural series. You can see right there. I'm gonna go in. All right, now Nancy has thick hair, so I'm actually going to put 40 grams of our 5.0 and 10 grams of 6.3. And the 6.3 is going to allow me to create a little bit of warmth to the hair, all right? Not adding too much gold in there, so that I create a nice, beautiful shade for Nancy. Now, what's great about our milkshake 9-minute color is that we are still utilizing the same 4 emulsions that we have in our creative permanent color. So I am going to choose 10 volume. I'm looking to create deposit only within Nancy's color. I'm looking to touch up her regrowth area and refresh her mid-shaft to end. However, there is a slight difference when we talk about our emulsions with 9-minute color. If we want to use deposit only, we choose 10 volume. If we're looking to create 1 level of lift with deposit, we will then switch to 20 volume. If we're looking for 2 levels of lift and deposit, we would switch to 30 volume, and up to 3 levels of lift with deposit, 40 volume. 40 volume is always a recommended emulsion to use when working with the 12 series, which is our high lifters, all right, our high lift blonde. So we're mixing this at a mixing ratio of 1:1. So we're gonna go in here, let's turn that back on. All right, we have 50 grams of color. We're gonna put 50 mLs of emulsions.
There's a question from Val. She said, is there a special ingredient that helps to speed up the processing time? Maybe didn't hear you earlier on, Gerard.
That's a great question, Val. All colors have oxidizers in them. Permanent colors contain oxidizers. This allows you to lift and deposit the color within the hair. With our 9-minute color, we are working with lower oxidizers, allowing us to get more deposit at a quicker speed. The lower the oxidizer, the quicker the processing time of the color. the higher the oxidizers, which you will find in classic permanent colors, the longer the timing process would take. Okay, so as you can see, we're mixing with a beautiful creamy consistency. Awesome, right? Now, let me just see, I'm going to move things around a little bit. And here's the key thing. Like all color, all right, your application is really, really important. So we want to make sure that we apply this or get this on in 10 minutes. We want to get it through the hair. And an average timing to apply color on a head of hair would be approximately 10 minutes. So we don't want to take more than 10 minutes to apply the color. All right, so I'm going to go right into the T-sectioning, the T-zone first. And then we're going to work this through, and we're actually going to set a timer on completion of the 9-minute color. So let's just go through. With 9-minute color, we're allowing ourselves as stylists, okay, as also for the guests in the salon, to cut our processing time drastically, allowing us, and especially in these trying times, allowing us to achieve permanent color results in less time. Following the process of time being valuable is more important when it comes to working with color today. So what you're going to notice is as I apply to the regrowth area, all right, I just kind of just brush up a little bit just to create a better blending of color. This is going to allow me to get 100% maximum coverage on the gray that I want to cover, but most importantly, wherever I see the darkness. So if we go towards the back of Nancy's hair, you'll notice there is less gray. It's a little bit darker back there, so this color will allow me to get the lift that I'm looking for back there, but most importantly, when we come to the front, get the maximum gray coverage that I'm looking for.
Cool. A couple of questions, Gerard. From Spencer, if you had a client that had resistant gray, would you maybe move up to 20 volume emulsion?
It's all, yes, okay, perfect question.
Spencer,
it's a great question. If I felt that I was dealing with somebody that has slightly resistant gray, however, you're looking to create a level of lift, I would then move to 20 volume. That's going to give me a level of lift and gray coverage all at the same time. However, if you're not looking for any lift, Spencer, then I would continue with the 10 volume.
Cool, great answer. Lisa is asking you to repeat the mixing ratio.
Okay, the mixing ratio on 9-minute color is 1:1. So if you're mixing 50 grams of color, you're going to mix 50 grams of emulsions.
Cass, our friend Cass from Nova Scotia. Is the consistency of the 9-minute color the same consistency as creative permanent color? Would you say?
Cass, I'm going to show you again. If you can see, it's a very creamy consistency. No lumps. Allows for better spreadability. So you'll notice that it's the same as our existing permanent color.
Cool. Great. Got lots of fans out there today, Gerard.
Great.
Too many to mention, but they're all saying hi. I will mention Tara from Rhode Island. Loving your hair longer, Gerard.
Oh, it's going to be quite soft today. So again, we're working with a 9-minute permanent color. It's going to give us the same result as our creative permanent color will give. However, it's going to allow us to process color in 9 minutes, still containing molar balancing. like our creative permanent color. All the same attributes as our permanent creative color will allow us to have, but most importantly, giving us a quicker deposit of tone and cutting our timing down by 3/4. So this is allowing you to get more color services in the salon, giving yourself the exact timing that you're looking for, and most importantly, at the end, getting the results of lift and deposit in a complete color line. And as we talked about, that we are still utilizing the emulsions from permanent color, our creative permanent color, as we will be using in our 9-minute color. So now I'm going to work to the front, and on Nancy's here in the front, you're going to notice her gray is a little bit more predominant. So we're actually going in there and making sure that we really saturate the entire front, retouching up all of her regrowth area, allowing us, and just slightly fanning it out for better blending of color.
Okay, Gerard, I don't want to break your flow, but a whole like bunch of questions came in there. I'm trying my best to memorize some of them. A question from Gina, which I actually thought was really, really good because it's about switching the mindset. If we went to 20, 30, or 40 volume, do we adjust the timing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Great question.
Really good.
Gina, you said, right?
Gina, yeah.
Great question, Gina. If you are switching, it doesn't matter if you use 10, 20, or 30 or 40 volume emulsions, the timing is still 9 minutes. However, if you are utilizing our high lifter series, which is our 12.11 in the blondes, you would utilize it with 40 volume, and most importantly, you would time that for 20 minutes. So, for regular color series, it's 9 minutes. For high lift blondes, it's 20 minutes.
Okay. David says, will this be available on our YouTube channel? I guess the answer is yes to that.
Yes, the answer is yes, David. It will be set up on our Facebook page afterwards and then downloaded to our YouTube.
Okay. A great question from Sharon Panzeri. Hi, loves. Should we start in the front if there is more gray?
Yeah, you would follow the same procedure that you do with your permanent creative color. If you feel that there's more gray and you want to get better coverage, then by all means start in the front. Sure.
Now, a really good question from Cheryl Ann Smith. Will processing stop at, well, she's written 8 minutes, but she probably means 9 minutes. Will it get dark if not shampooed kind of within that time?
Great question. Remember one thing, when color has lower oxidizers in it, and when you're dealing with a 9-minute color, you must not exceed the 9 minutes. However, if you are looking for greater deposit, you can leave it on slightly longer. 9-minute color, or any type of fast oxidizing color like this, does have a tendency to be slightly progressive. So you will get deeper penetration because we use the purest color pigments in our 9-minute color. So yes, I would keep your timing at 9 minutes. However, if you leave it on longer, be aware that you can pull it to be deeper.
Okay, great. From Sarah Roy, does the color have any transparency as it fades? Does it last as long as other permanent color?
Okay, that is a great question. And I wish that I had my sister, because I did it my sister. Okay, before I answer that question, I just want to get in and I'm going to give a shout out to my colleague, Ms. Dolly Hernandez. If you could time on your cell phone 9 minutes, okay? So let me come right over here. Brian, you can take a great picture of Nancy. We're going to time Nancy for 9 minutes. I'm going to come over to the side, take my mask off, and probably
do the Q&A. Yeah, okay, perfect. Awesome. Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll leave Nancy there.
We'll leave Nancy there.
And we'll pan across to Gerard.
Here.
See you in a minute, Nancy.
Okay, so here we go. Taking my mask off, trying to keep my social distancing for everybody. So maybe it's better now that we could ask a little bit more questions and we could hear me slightly better.
Because they were coming in fast.
I'm gonna, Brian, just give me 1 minute, Brian. I'm gonna sneak over and get this chart again.
Okay. I have a couple of questions to kick off with, Gerard.
So
I should get ready.
Prior to that was the, I want to make sure it was if we left this color on longer. Will it progressively slightly get darker? And the answer to that is yes. The other question, and keep in mind that with most fast-acting colors that deposit quickly, they tend to be a little bit more on the progressive side, meaning the longer you leave it on, the possibilities of the tone deepening is very likely to happen. So yes, I'm going to tell you that, yes, be careful. Keep your timing at 9 minutes. However, if you're looking for a deeper deposit of tone, you can leave it on slightly longer, but you have to understand that you will get a darker tone. Number two, the other question was, what is the tonal value on this, the fadage value on this? What happens in 3 weeks when Nancy comes back? I have to tell you that this definitely, absolutely fades out on tone. It is beautiful. I actually did my sister's hair. I touched up her regrowth area. I added highlights on the top of the head. Now your timing is changing, right? Because we're leaving the color at 9 minutes, so you have to adjust your technique and your process of applying color. Her tone is absolutely amazing, and it's 3.5 weeks later, where she would normally tone out to a warm tone, slightly on the brassier side. She is toning out beautifully, true to tone. So you will not have to worry about that. The gray coverage is maximum. It is amazing on that. We're dealing, you had a question, Brian?
I have a load of them, but
okay,
it's so great. There's so many questions coming in. I'm trying to stay on top of. First of all, Pay from Germany says this is such a great color because they've been using it a little longer than we have. So,
thank you, Peg. I love it as well.
And we had from Stephanie asking about when we would use this as against creative and vice versa. So
great question. And that's a question that I get a lot. When would you choose 9-minute color versus choosing creative permanent color? Couple of ways. One, client comes in, she's booked for a haircut. The times are trying right now. We need to try and get more services provided in a short amount of time. If you are short for time and you are looking to get somebody's color applied so that you can possibly reduce the booking process that you do for permanent color, that's one option of doing 9-minute color. The other is a client books for a haircut and they decide that you have wanted to provide a color service for them because they do have a regrowth area. You can utilize it then. However, 9-minute color may not be possible for every guest that walks in the doors of your salon. It's all determined on what your final outcome is going to be. But most importantly, 9-minute color is to preserve your time as a stylist and the consumer, our guest's time in the salon. So whenever you're looking to reduce timing, 9-minute color would be the color to choose.
One more for you. It's actually 2 or 3 people, but Cass has said also, she just missed the formulation for Nancy, so could you repeat?
Sure.
I think a lot of people are interested in that.
So what I've chosen for Nancy is to work with our double end series because she does have gray. Whenever mixing and whenever trying to cover gray, the philosophy that we apply with our permanent colors is still the same way. You would intermix with your naturals or your more natural. I've chosen 5NN, which is considered the light brown series, along with our 6.3, 40 mLs of 5NN and 10 mLs of 6.3 to give it a little bit more warmth and not so much deposit of the natural. Most importantly, we're looking to cover gray and still give Nancy that vibrancy. And then we're going to talk about how we're going to provide some depth mid-shaft to ends.
And what emulsion strength did you use,
And
Gerard?
we use 10 volume for deposit only. Whenever working with 9-minute color, keep in mind, again, I will repeat it, 10 volume for deposit only, 20 volume for 1 level of lift, 30 volume for 2 levels of lift, 40 volume for up to 3 levels of lift.
Okay. And then Sandra has asked, is it still a 1-to-1 ratio when using the high lift with 40 volume?
With the high lift and 40 volume, you're now mixing it at 1 to 1.5.
Okay. Cool. Good. Right, over to you. That's
Cool.
the other questions have rolled away.
Here's
So
what I want to share with you. You have 36 intermixable shades in 9-minute color. We can provide you with 24 of what we call mixers. So these 24 mixers allow you to create 60 nuances, 60 shades in a 9-minute permanent color. Remember that 9-minute permanent color oxidizes quicker because it does contain lower oxidizers in it. It still has molar balancing, which is the same as our created permanent color. However, you will tend to find that 9-minute color is slightly on the opaque side. So you will get deeper tonality in your color, and you will get better tone-on-tone fadage when your color tends to fade. It is utilized to preserve your time as a stylist and your guest time when they're in the salon, with all of the key ingredients that our existing permanent creative color line does have. Things like Integrity 41, milk proteins, all of those does contain blueberry extracts, all right, amino acids, but most importantly, it now has the biofermented daisy extract in it. And that's allowing us to, again, create beautiful color, creating smoothness, not being aggressive to the hair, and most importantly, allowing us to process color with lower oxidizers in 9 minutes.
okay, a couple of questions from Karen, our friend Karen in Massachusetts. First of all, can you apply it with a bottle?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, there's a thing that I find out with stylists because they want to try to apply a cream color in a bottle. Tube colors, whether it's 9-minute, whether it's creative permanent, whether it's multicolor by no inhibition, or any type of tube coloring, never gets applied for a bottle. Whenever you try to apply from the bottle, you risk allowing the product to dispense correctly out of the bottle. Most people will start to over-dilute the product to get it out of the bottle. Tube cream coloring is to be applied with a brush and bowl. Absolutely not applied out of a bottle.
Perfect. And the second question fits perfectly for the brand new chart that we just got, Gerard. When would you utilize the clear?
Okay.
Great question.
Let's go over to the clear. Like our creative permanent color, we have a clear that is into place within the line. So we can utilize clear to help us dilute slightly and to allow us to get that bump that we are looking for when we are looking to get that extra level of lift into the hair. Or the same process as you would utilize clear in your creative permanent color. If possibly you were looking to get a little bit more gray coverage, you didn't want to really up your level of developer, you can add a little bit of clear into your formulations to create a level of lift, to possibly go in there and get that little extra bump into positive color. Am I getting the signal from Dolly that she's ready? Okay, so I'm gonna bring her right over to the shampoo bowl.
We can come back to that.
Clear will actually allow you to, again, get that extra level of lift, help you with great coverage, same way as if you would use to implement it when you were using creative permanent color, or help dilute some of the tonalities in the color.
Okay.
So we're going to continue to ask questions. We're going to continue asking, but I want to bring you right over. So we have completed our timing process, as you can see in there. We're now going to take Nancy right over to the shampoo bowl. I'm going to talk about what we're going to chosen to shampoo Nancy's hair out. And then we are going to actually bring her back over, and we're going to talk about retoning mid-shaft end real quickly with your choice of either depending on what you're looking to do. We'll talk about different tonal recuperation. Come on over, Nance. If we're going to use our color whipped creams, which is a great segue. Here, let me see if I can get this into, let's get you all back in there, nice and comfy. Okay.
Okay, we've still got questions coming through. Do you want to take the questions?
First,
Yeah?
I wanted to show what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in and take a little bit of the staining off first before I move on. All right. I'm using the color specifics right there in the instant remover, and that's going to allow me just to make sure that we get any stainage off. Okay, so that you get minimal stainage on the skin. All right. I'm going to slightly go in and rinse. Nance, if this is cold, just give Barney a kick. And you have a question to come in.
Gina is asking, when would you do the pull through, and can you use 5 volume?
No, I'm going to talk about the pull through once we shampoo her out, Gina. There's several different ways to do a pull through. We're going to talk about that. You will not use any other volume developer. We are going to talk about how you can recoup anywhere from 1 level or up to 3 levels of tonal fading. So let's go through the shampoo and then we'll talk about the recoup.
Okay. A couple of people have asked, so there it is. I'll hold it on your face.
Have Dolly come over.
Dolly, could you put this on, please? Okay.
All right, trying to see. Okay, there we go, dog. There you go. All right. Almost forgot about putting that back on.
Ah, naughty boy. You're being forgiven, I think. Another question is, when you're rinsing out the color, how is the consistency of the color coming out? Is it?
This is right out. It's beautiful. Same thing as you're going to get when you deal with permanent color. You just get Nancy's head tilted back a little. Tilt back a little, so I don't want to get too wet. So we want to go in with our color specific shampoo and conditioner. Let's just go in. We're going to work the color specifics.
What would be the major benefit, Gerard, of using color-specific shampoo?
So, color-specific shampoo and conditioner you would utilize at the time of service. It's not a retail product that gets sent home. Color-specific is going to allow you to attack the oxidizing process there and help to start to close down the cuticle to lock the color down into the hair. The same way as if you were using color specifics on our CPC, which is our creative permanent color.
Cool.
Creates a beautiful lather, and most importantly, helps preserve the color by helping to close down the cuticle of the hair. So, if you really think about that, 9 minutes of processing time opens up a totally different door. But most importantly, let's keep in mind, we want to make sure that 9 minutes of processing time still is going to give us the coverage that we're looking for. Alrighty. A nice, beautiful rinse, getting all that out.
A couple of people said it was a little difficult to hear you. I think it's the combo of the mask and the water, Gerard. So we can just encourage, if there was anything you feel you missed, please repeat that, because once Gerard is finished here, we will go into a Q&A. So that will be your opportunity. Thank you.
Alrighty. What we're talking about is using color-specific shampoo and conditioner to help start to reseal the cuticle of the hair. And it's important to realize that once the cuticle of hair is open, you'll never get it sealed down 100%, but you utilize the shampoo and conditioner at the time of service is the most important, because that allows you to start closing the cuticle down to the hair. And once we close the cuticle down to the hair, it helps preserve color. So at the time of service is when you would utilize color-specific shampoo and color-specific conditioner. So we're just going to go in, and I'm now going to just use the color-specific conditioner. And most importantly, I'm working it on the ends of the hair, and you can see right now, look at that beautiful coverage that we've gotten from that Created Permanent Color. So let's get this on, rinse off, and then let's talk about recouping some of the tones. Okay, if you notice that hair, the condition of the hair is unbelievable. You know, and it's kind of funny when we talk about rinsing color out of the hair. You know, the slip is amazing. It gives for healthier, shinier hair. Alrighty. Make sure to get her cleaned up. Okay, next, sit up there, clean you off, which I probably got you want. Okay. Here's another thing that I'd share with everybody. Whenever our guests are at the shampoo bowl, it's important to block the excess water out of the hair. Don't create any static or any frizziness in the hair by like really shaking it. Just block the excess water out of the hair. Especially if we're going to talk about how we're going to recoup tonal value in the hair.
Great question from Heather. Is the double N series for grey coverage?
Yes. The double N series is for grey coverage. Whenever mixing 9-minute color and looking for grey coverage, you must follow the same guidelines as we follow for Created Permanent Color. Meaning, for grey coverage, it is mandatory to utilize your double N series in order to get coverage, especially when working with the fashion shades. All right, let's bring you back over here. Okay, so we're going to squeeze the excess water out, okay? All right, now, let's talk about the question that we had before, and I forgot the young person's name that had asked the question, but we were talking about recouping the tonality from mid-shaft to ends. Would we use 9-minute color with 5 volume? Absolutely not. If we are looking to recoup 2 to 3 levels of tone, mid-shaft to end. At the time of application, you would immediately, after you went in, you would immediately apply your mid-shaft to end, all right, with the existing formula of 9-minute color. So, if Nancy was looking to recoup 2 to 3 levels of tone, mid-shaft to end, I would immediately go in there with the existing formula, all right, which they brought over to the sink, with my existing formula and pull it right out mid-shaft to ends. If I was looking to recoup, okay, 1 to 2 levels of lift, I have a choice of either using our smoothies, create the formulation, because remember, when working with 9-minute color, keep in mind, if you can see right here, these purple and pink dots, that means within the 9-minute color, I can go to my existing smoothies chart or create a permanent color chart and find the existing tone that will match that and apply that mid-shaft to ends. So you can intermix, your 9-minute color gets applied to the regrowth area, okay? And your smoothies will get applied mid-shaft to end. And you have the option of either using smoothies, looking for the corresponding dot, or your created permanent color. So that all of these joint together will allow you to create beautiful colors. If you're using 9-minute color on the mid-shaft to end, then you can immediately go through with either your smoothies or your created permanent color mid-shaft to end. 9-minute color on the regrowth, created permanent color, smoothies, mid-shaft to end. If I'm looking to just simply refresh my mid-shaft to end, which we're going to do with Nancy, you have the option of either going in with direct or colored whipped creams. So the options are unlimited. We can utilize our entire color portfolio to create anything that we choose as stylists to create within the spectrum of hair. So, what I'm going to quickly do now, I'm going to show you is we're going to go in. I want to show you formulation, then we'll answer any questions you may have, because she's going to go right over with Dolly Hernandez and get blow dry. All right, we'll get it quickly blow dry so you can see the end result. But what I want you to see is, look at the deposit of color that we get at the regrowth area. All right, and this is still viewing it damp, okay? You're getting 100% gray coverage, beautiful color. Is that not beautiful? All right, so everything that you can get out of permanent creative color, you can get. So here's what I want to do, is we're going to refresh Nancy's mid-shaft to end, just to revive some of the color. We're not looking to cover anything up. So we're going to use 2 formulas. One is the Cold Brunette by Colored Whipped Creams. Let's put that in first. Get that one in first, Brian. Okay, so we're just going to go right in there. Okay. All right, remember, these will help to refresh color. They could utilize these at home. But most importantly, it'll just give a slight stain. They will tend to wash out of the hair. But it'll give that refreshness that you're looking for mid-shaft to end and last in the hair. The second we're going to use is more of our whipped cream. We use the cold brunettes, and now we're going to use the golden blonde by applying that right on top. So why did I choose to use the golden blonde? Because I want to give a little bit of warmth to the cold brunettes. And we're just going to mix them together. And this actually is going to remain in the hair. And this is what Nancy will go home with whenever she's looking to refresh her color mid-shaft to end. So I'm going to apply this real quickly. All right, working it just mid-shaft to end. Let me tilt Nancy's hair down more. Okay, and I applied it on damp hair. And this is going to get blow dried into the hair. So I'm just looking to recoup some of the temporary fadage that she has in the hair. This stays into the hair. It's like giving her a conditioning treatment with color tonality all in one. So that the ends are protected. They have beautiful tone to them. I'm not looking to apply it at the regrowth area. Okay, I'm just coming mid-shaft to end. But if any of you are looking to recoup 2 to 3 levels, 1 level of lift, whatever you're looking to recoup, you have the option of either using the 9-minute color in its entirety to recoup 2 to 3 levels, or you can go in with the smoothies or semi-permanent color or our creative permanent color.
So Michael's asking, so there's no rinsing with the whipped cream colors?
There's absolutely no rinsing with the whipped cream colors. So this is basically helping to condition the mid-shaft to the end and just to create some balance of tone at the ends of the hair, all right? And with 9-minute color, you're gonna notice that the fadage of color is true to tone.
That's good to repeat, because that was a question earlier on, Gerard, wasn't it, about the tonality of the fadage?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Tonality of the fadage. So when you look, Nancy does have lighter pieces at the ends of her hair, okay? And in some cases, it's not just the fact that color fades, it's thermal abuse. It could be many reasons. You want to refresh some old natural highlights in the hair. Colored whipped cream is a great partner to use mid-shaft to end, whether you're doing creative permanent color, smoothies color, or 9-minute color.
Great. Another question from Mary Beth, who's in Illinois. Is this available yet? If not, when?
Mary Beth, it just got shipped to our warehouse in Z1 Concept Corporate Office, Wayne, New Jersey, on Friday. So it will be available to salons as of August. So please check with your distributor and your DSCs, put your pre-orders in, whatever you have to do. It is a great additive to the existing color portfolio. Okay, I'm going to now send her right over to Miss Dolly Hernandez, and we're going to start to blow dry this in. And then we'll go into a big Q&A.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty. Alright. So you see how we just applied the minute color on the regrowth area, and then went through the entire head with color whipped cream. Both our color whipped cream cold chocolates, color whipped cream golden blonde. This got applied mid-shaft to ends to refresh the ends. And of course, our 9-minute color on the regrowth area, creating beautiful color. So I want to get her over real quickly to get blow drying. Nancy, we can go with Dolly. Perfect. All right, now let's take off this mask so you can hear me. All right. I'm taking it off and putting it on. I'm getting confused here. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's go into a Q&A and see if there's anybody that has any specific questions. I want to repeat a couple things, and then Brian, if there's a question, just please pop up and we'll stop what I'm saying. I want you to rest assured, we're talking about 9-minute color, 9-minute permanent color, 36 intermixable shades, 24 mixers to create 60 permanent color shades within 9-minute color. 9-minute color is always deposited for 9 minutes. Does not matter what emulsion you use, we deposit it for 9 minutes. However, if you are trying to create a high lift blonde in the high lifters, you would then process it for 20 minutes. So 9 minutes for your regular nuances, 20 minutes for your high lift blondes, and with 40 volume.
So it's a question from Michael, and quite interesting question too. Can you apply permanent and 9-minute color together without problems in processing?
Yes. However, you cannot apply them together in the same bowl, same mixture. You can apply, and time is of essence. You would apply 9-minute color on the regrowth area to process the color. Immediately after you apply your 9-minute color, if you are looking to recoup one level of tonal fadage, you would then mix your created permanent color, okay, and apply that. After you apply your regrowth area, you immediately go back in now and apply mid-shaft to end. So keep in mind, you have to work slightly faster with that, because you would take 10 minutes to apply your 9-minute color to the regrowth area. 10 minutes is the average on applying a regrowth area to any color, permanent color line. So once you apply this, you start your timing. Immediately after, your formulation has already been mixed in a bowl, you would apply your mid-shaft to ends. Okay? So yes, you can apply your created permanent mid-shaft to ends, your 9-minute color on your regrowth area. You cannot intermix them together in one bowl.
Okay. There was a previous question, and I know it's one of the ones you like, Gerard. How would you price the 9-minute color?
I would price the 9-minute color the exact same way I'm pricing my permanent color. It is processing in less time. It's not less work. It's newer technology. I presently start my color applications, and pricing is determined on geographic location. I'm not a big fan of giving pricing, and everybody asks me because then everybody kind of jumps the gun with this. I presently charge $85. That's where I start my color application. However, with 9-minute color, I still charge $85. So whatever you're charging for permanent color presently, you would charge for 9-minute color. There's no cut in price.
Right. Question from Felicia. She was wondering about when you were using the color specifics, about the acid color sealer. At what point is that recommended?
Okay, you can use the acid color sealer at the time once you rinse off the color at the regrowth area. You apply the color acid sealer, lazeridine, do your timing, and rinse it out. Color acid sealer again helps to cut the cuticle, closing it down a little bit quicker with 2.8 pH. It allows you to close down that cuticle. So if you choose to use the color acid sealer, you would utilize it after you've rinsed out the excess color. You apply your color acid sealer and then follow through with shampoo.
Yeah, and I think you would have used it more, Gerard, had you done the middle ends and ends all at once and then run it through.
If you were pulling it straight through, I would apply the color acid sealer. In Nancy's case, we only did her touch-up. I didn't feel there was a need for a color acid sealer, and her hair was in the condition I needed it to be. I went in with the color-specific shampoo and conditioner. Now, I always recommend color-specifics, shampoo and conditioner, after every color service, immediately. After every color service. Whatever you need to close down, help to assist in closing down the cuticle of the hair.
Great. There was a question earlier, I think that was really quite important, and I think we need a little clarity. I can't remember exactly who it was, so I won't mention a name in case I'm incorrect. They were recommended that when using the double end series to drop a level.
Okay, let's talk about that. You were taught, and everybody out there that is watching today, if you ever had any teachings of classing with our creative permanent color, okay, you were taught when looking for better gray coverage, you have options, and those options were to either drop the level of color, drop your level of emotion, drop it from a 20 to a 10, possibly utilizing clear into your formulations. That is the common teachings of creative permanent color, okay? However, if you are looking for great coverage with 9-minute color, we know that there are lower oxidizers. Colors contain oxidizers. When there are lower oxidizers, your color tends to be a little bit more progressive. It deposits more. At that point, I would say to stick true to the level that you are looking for. Do not look to lower your level of emotions, because 10 volume, it was for deposit only. In creative permanent color, it'll allow you to get up to a 1 level of lift. In our 9-minute color, it is deposit only. I would stick true. If you feel that I use the level 6 today, a 6 natural, and I want it to be a little bit deeper, you can the next time use 5N. So I would be careful in applying that same train of thought when using 9-minute color, because you are looking at a little bit more of a slightly progressive color, and you're looking at a color that is a little bit deeper in pure pigments when using 9-minute color, because it is a little bit more opaque in that tone.
Okay, question from Val. Would there be any type of hair that you would not be able to use the 9-minute color on?
You can use 9-minute color on all hair types. Whatever you presently are utilizing creative permanent color. Now, creative permanent color has a timing process of anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what you are utilizing it and how you are utilizing it. 9-minute color only has a 9-minute processing time unless you're using the high lift series, which then has a 20-minute processing time. It's not recommended to leave it on longer. 9-minute color is a color line that you would use when you want to possibly get color on somebody and the time is not there. You're looking for a little bit more slightly of that opaque deposit in color, and you want to get this service in. Somebody comes in and they only came in for a blow dry that day, or they only came in for a haircut that day, and they decided that they needed to get a touch-up. You have that time, you could use 9-minute color. On the average, when using creative permanent color, or any type of classic permanent color, your timing, if you were doing a color, a cut, and a blow dryer, you're looking at anywhere from 65 minutes to 2 hours worth of time, if it's just color and a blow dry, or if it's color, blow dry, and haircut. When applying 9-minute color, you're looking at a book out time of possibly 60 minutes. So you're cutting at least 45 to 60 minutes off your timing. It depends on how you book for a permanent color.
Okay, good question from Michael again. How long does the whipped cream color last on average?
On the average, depending on the porosity condition of the hair, the color whipped cream could come off in 1 to 2 shampoos.
Okay. And then followed by same question regarding...
And let me just add to that, Brian. However, color whipped cream is something that your guests would go home with. So it's a great way to introduce refreshing of tone to their color. If they need it, they can refresh it again at home. It takes nothing to apply that in their hands, work it through their hair, and blow dry it in. It does not get rinsed out. So it is a great segue when offering them something to maintain the condition and give tonality to their hair at home. Okay? So I hope I answered that correctly.
And it was Michael was following it with the longevity of smoothies also.
The longevity of smoothies is going to give you, again, depending on the porosity and condition of the hair, it's going to give you a longer longevity. You can last up to 3 to 4 weeks when they come back in to refresh because it is a semi-permanent color. Okay? So you are getting a much longer longevity out of smoothies than you are getting out of colored whipped creams or direct. However, if I would have had a guest that came in and I used smoothies on, I would still recommend colored whipped cream as an additive take-home product for them to refresh their color at home. Because of the summer months, the environmental stress that hair goes through, all right, and the thermal abuse that sometimes our guests put on, you know, flat irons, curling irons, blow drying. You always want to utilize something that can refresh color and again add some tonality back into the hair.
Sorry, we've got a big thank you from Michael for that. Not a question, but from Katie, who's in Ohio. She said, this is amazing. This is huge for us as stylists and clients. Time is so valuable.
Amen, Katie. Time is valuable. Time is money and money is time. And if there are ways that we can share different technologies or different color families, I think that 9-minute color, when we look at it today, is the perfect, you know, partner to add to our color portfolio. Now, I have gotten questions before that people ask me, is 9-minute color to replace creative permanent color? Absolutely not. 9-minute color is an additive to your existing permanent color line that you carry. Because there are times and situations you need to go to 9-minute color to apply color for that guest that possibly just popped in, who doesn't have the time. You don't have the time. Your booking strategy is different. What we are doing right now, we are dealing with less clients on a daily basis than we did before. This allows you to reevaluate your booking process and possibly get more clients in a day. However, 9-minute color will not go away after the COVID-19 has gone away. It will still remain in our dispensaries because it allows us to have an option. My guest walked into that day and just wanted a blow dry, but I noticed she had a regrowth area and had a fancy affair to go to. I can process color within 9 minutes, blow dry her hair, and get her out of my chair and out of the salon within under an hour time, okay? We did one the other day in the salon, 40 minutes from start to finish. It all is dependent on how we presently book in our salons. Cool. So I believe that 9-minute color will find a place in each and every one of your salons.
Yep, and there's 1 or 2 comments coming in about adding the color to the portfolio, expanding the color bar, which is exactly what you're saying, Gerard. There was a question earlier regarding the clear. Can you just give a little example of how the clear will work with the mixing the extra nuances?
So, just like our creative permanent color, we have an added clear that we implemented into our creative permanent color line. So if you are looking to possibly utilize the 3N, but you want to slightly dilute it, you want to possibly help in aiding to soften the cuticle of the hair, does have a higher ammonia content in it, just like our existing clear, we can intermix, all right, if we're mixing 30 mLs of our 3N, okay? We can intermix that into it. We can also add a little bit of our existing clear to that to help to slightly dilute that, get better grade coverage, to give you that extra level of lift if that's what you're looking to do. All right. If you are looking to create mixers, all right, and you wanted to create a 613, but there is no 613 in the 9-minute 36 shades. The intermixing ratio that we give you right here by mixing the 513 with the 713 allows you to create a 613. For some of us, it's common. We know how to go in there and intermix. For others, we need the guide. So we've created 24 mixing ratios that will allow you to achieve 24 more nuances without carrying 24 extra tubes of color in your salon. All right, that allows you, most importantly, we're thinking of your wallets to make it cost efficient for you. So the purchase of 36 shades can allow you to achieve 60 nuances of color in the salon. Common to some stylists, not common to all. So this allows you to create 60 different nuances with 36 different shades or nuances in your salon and 24 mixers. It broadens the color palette of Milkshake 9-minute.
Right, Gerard, I have to jump in. There's been a whole lot of wow about this mixing option. It's almost like a type of cocktail, isn't it? That lots of people are saying, what a brilliant idea.
I think that we all need to realize as colorists, okay? We all need to focus on the simple fact that as colorists, we're creative, we're artistic. Now, am I telling you that 36 nuances added with 24 mixers allows you to create nuances, 60 nuances, and that's it? Absolutely not. For those of you who need a chart or want to create 24 new nuances, we're giving you mixers. But I allow you and I challenge you to be creative and create a different variety of nuances, however you want to intermix. It's more genius that we allow us to create this for you so that you're keeping your 9-minute color, all right, at that more convenient, creating less storage space, and most importantly, less inventory for you to carry in the salon. All right, but you can't just stop with these 24. You want to create more, add more color, add more nuances. I believe our color is going to be walking in soon, so let's keep up with the questions, and then we're going to show you our color coming in. I'm going to put my mask on. I forgot with the shampooing, but we won't forget now. Let me just get my mask on, and then we'll have Nancy come over. Let me find her mask. Oh, right here. Okay, Nancy, come on over. Oh, you're going to fight the color? Right there. Okay, she's just taking some color off her skin. Right over here on her cheek. So, let's talk about 9-minute color. When you have the availability of that 9-minute color, and you have that availability and flexibility to have 9-minute color in your salon, it's going to allow you to open the doors of services that you possibly refuse because of time. And with the focus of time is money and money is time, I think it's really, really important for us to realize that 9-minute color has a place in all of our dispensaries. It allows us to widen our present portfolio and creating a different segment of nuances that we can provide. So whether we are intermixing 9-minute color at the regrowth area, I'll call you over in 1 minute, Nancy, 1 minute, and then utilizing our creative permanent color mid-shaft to ends, our smoothie mid-shaft to ends, our existing color whipped creams, and I'll give you a little bit of hint, keep your eyes open, because we'll be adding to this family very shortly, color whipped creams, and our direct. You could also intermix it with a direct. So it kind of makes our full, complete color line. Let me get Nancy on over here.
Okay, good.
Beautiful. So, let's check out Nancy. All right, so you can see the beautiful deposit of color, still giving that natural feel to the hair. Is that not gorgeous?
Looks fab, Gerard. It's great. I'll pan back slightly so we can get a better view.
Now, think about achieving beautiful tones like that, still keeping that natural. How about some of us that are looking to create depth at the regrowth area and having it fall down to a natural lightness or blend at the end, but to get that beautiful deposit of color in 9 minutes, I think is life-changing today. It's amazing how you can create all this beautiful tonality, right? And deposit color.
That looks great. That looks
Is
great,
that
Gerard.
gorgeous?
You're getting lots of thumbs up, lots of wow going on. That looks fab. Fantastic.
All right. So 9-minute color, 36 intermixable shades, 24 mixers. All right? Think about this for a minute.
Incredible shine.
All right? The immense amount of shine that you get into the hair, the deposit of tone that you're getting into the hair. If you're looking for maximum great coverage, shine, durability, tone on tone, fade, you have that in a complete 9-minute color eye. It is amazing, it is life-changing, and it allows us to look at color slightly different today. We are still taking some of our newer technology. We're still taking the newer technology in color, all right? Creating services that we can offer our guests in the salon, okay? But most importantly, achieving the end result much quicker. So do we have any questions? We're all good? Listen, it is amazing. I want you to all stay tuned. Next Monday at 12 noon, we will be hosting, all right, I'm going to come over here, Brian, because I want to take this off. Let's go to this side right here. We're away from her. I want you to take this off because I want you to really hear me on this. Next Monday at 12 noon, we are going to be hosting a Zoom introductory to 9-minute color. This was basically Facebook Live to demonstrate 9-minute color. Before we close out, I'll let Brian go back to our model. But this was showing you a demo on 9-minute color to actually see how quickly, in a Facebook Live, that we can apply color and blow dry somebody's hair. But next Monday at 12 noon, I want you to tune in, go to our Facebook page, register for the introductory to 9-minute color. We will be taking you through a video and a PowerPoint to show you from start to finish, also importantly, all the active ingredients and all the technical terms that we need to cover 9-minute color. So those of you who are in the process of ordering your 9-minute color through your distributor, you will be able to go through a 9-minute introductory class next Monday, 12 noon. Again, my name is Gerard Caruso, Creative Director of Z1 Concept. We're going to pan over to our model. I'm going to stay right here, Brian. I know not to get to my model. Let Brian show you. I'll put my mask back on. Pop in over here, and I just want to turn Nancy around so you can see the beautiful dimension, shine, and deposit into color. Still maintaining some of the natural highlights that she has in her hair, but most importantly, covering the gray at the regrowth area. Voila, right? Again, I hope you all enjoyed this Facebook Live. If you have any questions, please go to our North America Milkshake page. Milkshake North America USA. If you're looking on our YouTube, Instagram, if you go to our North America Milkshake page, please remember to sign up and register for the introductory to 9-minute